Therefore, spirituality says selfless, free service.
I'm like a kid in a chocolate shop, so that's why I'm not shutting up.
Go ahead. I love it.
Is there a contradiction in Sajmarg between ambitions and aspirations to become socially, financially so successful that you can really turn that into...
My master said ambition is foolish. Because if you aspire, it helps you develop qualities.
Yes.
If you are ambitious, it may help you to develop things, possessions, nothing more. Not your qualities. That's why no rich people, no collectors are associated with their heart. In fact, they become heartless.
But you see it so much in companies these days that they assess their staff based on leadership, ambition.
That's their blah blah. Yeah. This is our blah blah.
But there's a slight shift I see happening, given the thing I'm exposed to with companies. I see there's a shift. The heart is, people are searching, and they don't know how to get there. But
but they do come. Even the toughest man, they got boss.
Right.
Here's a boss.
Sorry.
His boss. He brought him into the mission and he came to meet me. We had an argument for hours. Tough businessman, killer instinct. And yet, after 2 years of my bombarding him with thoughts, with the transmission, he's melting. I know on many occasions he has felt like quitting. To hell with Sajmarg. But if somewhere here there is that softness which will permit the truth to enter, the dark room, even in a dungeon, there are some small windows somewhere, otherwise the man will die. If this little thing is open, you have to be changed. And you cannot rest till you are changed. Though you may resist change, like hell. Because it's a fight with yourself. One part says, I want to change, the other says, no. He changed.
That was the toughest job, Master. Normally, fish are slippery. He was like a soaked fish. And bring him to you was a miracle by itself, just watching it unfold.
It's nothing big, I have seen people catching fish. They let in a line and wait patiently. The bigger the fish, the longer it takes. It will run. And the science of fishing says, let it run. Then pull it in slowly. It will run again, let it run. 6 or 8 runs and it's tired. Now bring him in slowly so that he doesn't break the line. Take him out, give him a knock on the head and put him in his basket.
Rumi says, wherever you go, at the end of the day you'll come back to me because I'm returning.
Yes.
But this softness is also making us somewhat, in this day and age, a little bit vulnerable.
Softness is always vulnerable.
Yeah.
But I give always the example of the root. The root which is underground, which you cannot penetrate, the tip is the softest thing on earth. And yet it moves in. And it split rocks and comes in. If it was not that soft, it could not penetrate. Because of
That's in my experience, and what I hear from some of the asks is when the meditation practice, or spiritual practice, brings that a space, or blesses us with some kind of a space to move. And there will be a time that we need, as you were saying, that we need to make a decision to change. We have to wanting the change as well. It's not that
I mean, we all know that the fundamental fact of life is between wanting and doing.
yes. That's very important.
What is it that is necessary? In wanting it is desire. In doing it is will. Now our desire is always active. Will, we have not exercised and trained. Do it. And as Babaji said, the will, every time you use it, becomes stronger. Every time you say no to it, it becomes weaker. There is no static will. Tomorrow morning I'll get up at 5, you do it, the stronger will. Next day it's easier, but tomorrow you say, Chalta hai, that only today, tomorrow I will start at 5. No, you are never going to do it.
But that applies as well to what I'm saying, what I'm trying to get is there might be a misconception among us, Abhyasis, that things will follow naturally.
Yes, there is. It's not among you Abhyasis. It's all over the world. That there is me.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there's the devil.
Yes.
Fortunately, there's God. So God, lead us not into temptation, the Christian prayer, but deliver us from evil. You put everything on that poor fellow.
Yes.
He should bring pretty girls before you, but not lead you to temptation. You want the girls. And then when he doesn't lead you to temptation, you say, Master, what is this? My life is a waste. I am living in a desert. Christian prayer is very beautiful. Our Father, which art in heaven. Who said he is in heaven? Is he not here? Hallowed be thy name. Who are we to say it? My name, he should hallow. No. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive them that trespass against us. Lie. We have never forgiven anybody. Give us this day our daily bread, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thy kingdom come. No. We are inviting God to bring his kingdom down here. Ignoring the fact that this is his kingdom. And this is his palace. And he is inside.
Why they got it so wrong, all of them?
Because they don't want to take responsibility on themselves.
This is one of the problems I have. You give me a cookie, I share it, everybody says you have to finish it. And I'm sharing it. And I don't know if I'm breaking the code of Sahaj Marg or not. No, seriously, huh? And I appreciate it.
No,
huh?
no, it's okay. It's
I
good
really
to hear
sometimes
Master.
go, I don't know. Even it's in Persian culture, she would have done the same with me if you were not here. But what's wrong if you give me something and it's got blessing and I pass that blessing?
There are special occasions when you are not to share.
How would I know? At least wink at me.
You will know. You will know somehow.
Because this has happened a couple of times to me and I felt terrible.
But this was not an occasion, it was for sharing.
It was for Thank you very much.
He can.
Dates.
Dates.
Talking about will, the funny part is that once you realize the packages that are around you and the weight that is holding onto you, when you want to open your wings and you have difficulty cutting this samskara, you put them aside and you take off and then they come to bounce under your belly again. So how on earth you can detach them? Because I learned a lovely sentence in Hindi today, which is ruku ruku ke jada, which means slowly, slowly, huh? How to catalyze this process, how to make this journey a little bit more, there must be a way in spirituality that you can cut these things, which you have already come to realize that they are your obstacles, as you were talking about. Quick.
Let me get slowly. enjoy my coffee. It's a conflict. I love this coffee. We have to feel the urgency here.
Alarm red.
Not alarm.
No, I'm just saying that it is, because diagnosis is the most important thing, right? The root cause analysis. So once you identify them, you want to cut them.
There's a famous story of a guru and a very promising disciple. They were bathing in the river. So disciple said, Guruji, how should I live that I realize the urgency and the need for the spiritual goal to be reached? He just pushed him into the water and held his foot there until he came on. That. No, normally, not normally, this is the normal thing in the world. People turn, if at all, only after their own.
After they do what they're old.
Yeah, because they have now lost their senses, their sensibilities, their powers. Their eye cannot see, their tongue cannot speak very well, their ears cannot hear. No? Then they say, God help me well. So Kabir says, in misery, everybody turns to God. If you would turn to God in happiness, health and wealth, why would there ever be misery?
The Japanese used to fish tuna. So after they fill these tanks of fishes and they want to bring them to coast, after a while they realize the fish in the water, because they keep them alive, stop moving. So the taste of the fish for a few days on the water changes by the time they get to the market. So the customers were not happy. So they sat down and thought what we can do, and they brought some baby sharks and throw them into the tanks that made it move. So the question here is, in spirituality, when we become stagnant, if in this process,
There is this thought that you should have, this life can end at any moment. That is the baby shark.
that's a baby shark.
And before that happens, let me do what I have to do.
So here and now.
Here, Babuji, I asked once, what is wisdom? He said, live as if you are going to die the next moment. Which can happen to everybody.
Ali Amir al-Mu'minin in Islam as well says, whenever you're very happy, go to the cemetery. Whenever you're very sad, go to the cemetery as well. That's my
It doesn't have to be the cemetery. So live as if you are going to die the next moment. Means you do everything that you have to do before you die. Including write your will if you are a rich man. That too is part of your duty. Tied at your desk.
Does Sajmark have any objections for becoming prosperous and rich?
Not at all. My master said you have to use your powers which are God given. But keep for yourself only what you need. Just because I earn $5 million every day, it doesn't mean I should keep it for myself. And he gave the example of the river. You take a cup of water from the river and let the river flow. People often ask me, if I am afraid of society and do not practice my Sajmark, what does it indicate? So I tell them, fear is something else. But as Lalaji Maharaj said, human life being the highest yet manifest on earth must be protected at all costs. So I am not protecting my life because I am afraid of losing it. I am protecting it as a treasure which has to be perfected and handed over to the creator. I suddenly now think of another idea of why cleaning is necessary. For one who wants to give, cleaning is most essential. To see that what he gives is pure, worthy to be given and worthy to be received.
How important is proximity to you in physical form?
How?
Important is the proximity to you in a physical form. Does it count or it doesn't?
Well, Babuji said it's important. Babuji said that a disciple must go and live with his master for a week in a year. Even if their two houses are separated only by one wall. Suppose on the other side of the wall is your house. Not a compound, just this wall is also your wall, also my wall. Still you must come and live here for a week. It is that important.
Are the root causes of anxiety, doubt, and fear all the same or not?
Not the expression. The same thing.
I was told coming again and again that really speaking, Sajma is restoring the feeling which you have lost.
It is too wide a statement.
You know, because
Part of the work is to restore your free will so that you can work on yourself. But that is like giving a man who has to dig a spade. He has to do the digging.
that example you were giving that we were like puppet, you know, it's the example of samskaras, and we are no more free with each other. Now it's gone, really speaking. It's a minor approach to say that I'm choosing, you know, to do something like that. It is a very minor approach. The fact is, the samskara is really acting in such a way that we are not anymore.
The problem is, there are problems all along the way. When your will was weak, so were your sins and your virtue. When your will is strong, if you are still in the world of duality, your vices can be very powerful and your virtues can be very powerful.
Can you repeat that?
When your will is weak, like suppose you have an ivory paper cutter for opening envelopes, you can't do much. Either way, good or bad. But the stronger your will, the power to do both is always there. The choice is yours. Which you do. Isn't it? So the choice is not left to the will, it is left to you.
But they say those who practice spirituality, their faces show less signs of aging.
Oh yes, certainly.
And I don't say this to flatter you. I came to realize you're 82, if I'm correct, only a few weeks ago. Well, all along I thought you're in your mid-late 60s. And don't take it as just a plain compliment.
I don't.
Seriously, I really felt like you don't look 82, 83.
I have no compliment.
No, yet.
I don't depend on my face or by whatever it is.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not saying it
And long ago, when I had a problem with people, always angry with me, hatred for me, things like that, I told Babuji, I said, why? I am not doing anything to anybody, I am only doing your work. So he sat on the floor like this and he said, there's a big lake, as big as the sea, and there's one fish swimming in it. And all round are these birds which catch fish. forgot that word.
Fish.
Fish.
I have had fish. I said, but he said, you do good work and walked away.
Not much of a consolation.
No, it was a consolation. Because to be the fish which is being hunted by hundreds of birds of prey, and to know that there is a master who is aware of it, is good enough, no?
How in this context that little fish cannot be you and me, and that divine power being God?
The divine power is always there. But when the fish feels afraid, it can do some foolish thing.
That's the birds catcher.
Yes. It's a fact, that's what happens. He said, become what you have to become. That is the greatest helpless master. We try to help the master in many ways. Love him, give him food, make his bed, cook for him. He said, this anybody can do. You as one interested in self-development are part of the school. Your help is in becoming what you have to become as early as you can.
How can I realize what I have to be?
Don't worry about all this. These are intellectual questions which have no meaning, no answer, and every answer is right, every answer is wrong. If I tell Western women that the purpose of marriage is to have a child, they will rebel. That is the purpose. Without a child, a woman is incomplete. She has not fulfilled her purpose on earth, the purpose of nature.